Hey, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Krod7435. I got ourselves another story time tonight. I'm going to talk about my experience with doing a video game camp program for Mildred Elley. Basically, Mildred Elley was a spot, more so a college, where you can go and do a summer program during the time. For certain things that you wanted to get into, if you were like, I guess like a minor or something like that. Basically, like, the thing was is that you know what that college offered was video game courses, which they were pretty expensive at that time. My parents actually paid like $350 like a week or something like that, and my mom was like, huh, like, how does that even work? So basically, like, the thing was is that it kind of like promoted a big, thing on how to use, softwares like Blender, and which I'm actually working with right now to make my own, like, video game, because I am actually trying to learn how to, code out like my own models and things like that. But it's mad fun. So, the thing is that it's like a lot of competition. So you have to think about how much more work you got to put into your, thing alone. But it's like, I mean, I see why people have so much fun with what they do, because it is a it is a big thing that a lot of people get themselves into, but it is a tough competition that a lot of people have kind of put themselves in that spectrum of wanting to expand their gaming career. For being a possible developer or some sort of computer software engineer. And I really do like to say, for any of like the people that really do say like we can't, like, people who get into video games like basically were never like, I should say it, like they were never successful because computers were video games only options, like, to live. And I truly disagree with that, like, because if a lot of people don't know, before computers, we were actually working with, monetary devices to create, basically a image like, virtual reality device to have people work in that type of field for actual graphics. And I want to say, like, the very first video game that was ever made for like a TV was back in 1942, I want to say, where basically they created, like, think about it like your plug-in AV core type TV game, but it was in the sense of having it in a pad where you use like the pads to kind of work with like little games, like, where like the ball goes through like the screen and it just hits like a bar going back and forth and stuff like that. And I mean, there were other little small games which, like, I wouldn't call this to be a conspiracy theory, but it was actually proof to show that video games were evolving. And a lot of early popular computer scientists, especially even like my favorite one, what was his name, Jean-Claude or Claude Eastwood. Hold on, give me 1 second. He was that gay atheist guy that I liked. He was like actually the first one to develop computers. And then there's a black guy, I want to say back in the 40s, that developed like that developed video game. He developed the very first video game in America. And he was just like a really successful guy, and that's what really shocked like the whole crowd. Not just because he's black, but I mean, like, it kind of like eliminates like the purpose of why we as Americans, we kind of just think like, okay, well, the white man is like the best race on this planet, and he can't do no wrong. And I mean, black people, we can't do no wrong because we are helpless. And it's like, no, like, I just truly hate that, because it's like, it's not really proposing anything positive, and it's just race baiting. It's race hustling. You're oh shit, my bad. You're trying to find another way to put yourself in the pedestal of trying to think that you can't be successful and nobody in this world could ever be successful. And I truly disagree with that. Anybody at any age in human reality can make like the biggest future ever for themselves, and I think, like, in my honest case, like, if I make a game tomorrow, or I make something very high paid prone in that type of career, then I can do anything, you know what I'm saying? Regardless if computers were here or not, like, I'm gonna make something. So I find it to be very interesting because I have this type of dedication, like everybody else has, versus like people that just try to have other people do their work for them just to become rich. But I mean, like, I don't look at it for like the money. I just look at it for passion. And personally, like, for, you know, things like Mildred Elley, that was a good, you know, experience. I really did like the fact that I went through a lot of, you know, like, how should I say it? I went through a lot of changes through my coding career. And, I mean, to this day, I put myself in this pedestal for wanting to become better in what I do. But I never wanted to, you know, enhance my life to be like, oh, I need to have a limitation. No, like, I want to go all out, and I wanted to get better. And there were a lot of things that I got myself put into. It was really good, and it had a lot of benefits. And I mean, like, there was a lot of evolutionary tactics that I got into, developing graphics and GUIs and a whole bunch of other shit. But to inform you guys on the guy that I was talking about that made the very first computers, Alan Turing, he was the father of computer science, born in 1912, died in 1954. Much respect out to this man. To my atheist secular brother, I will love you forever till the day I die. Yes! Atheism is unstoppable. Like, yeah, sorry guys, this is just, you know, like the, like the, undercover Kiernan. He's not here right now, so he'll take a message. Neat. Okay, well, that'll be saved onto the Atheist channel. I'll actually talk about Alan Turing. He's actually a very interesting white guy. Oh, geez, those damn whiteys always going at it, huh? Red, white, and blue, but, you know, the whitey ain't for you, huh? But no, it's just really interesting because I find like, you know, America's wonders for being such a great nation, while we find such a great, you know, like, basically a little bit of unity before we isolate ourselves. And I just find it to be like so funny because, you know, a lot of people really do think in American culture we can't, you know, somehow be a successful nation like without, you know, I guess like more so with whites and blacks per se, because a lot of people are just kind of like those type of race baiters that say like, oh, you can't be successful because you know, black people and white people, man, they're just not really the type of, you know, people to ever like make it out any better. Vice versa, like, you know, blacks are better and whites are better, but I mean, in history, whites have been doing way better than blacks. So what were blacks doing? Committing 52% of crimes, which, I mean, it is true, but I mean, the thing is like, you know, when certain people out of any color makes anything, you know, we as Americans, in my honest opinion, should give credit and respect those that have put a mark for this country. And I mean, like, that's how I see it with my video games. Like, when I put it down and I evolve my gaming to be at a higher structured level, I'm gonna be happy for that. You know, I love making YouTube videos, but I love putting my time into video games, and I think like that's what I like to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like to be put into this, you know, thing where I can't be successful unless I can't move up into the spectrum of who I am. And I think, like, in a capitalist society, we have so much, you know, progression that we put ourselves into, and we've done a very good job. I mean, I'm so happy every single day where when I do look at something good that we as Americans have done, it's not just because of that one person. It's because that this country has given us so much information where we have we have broken through so many curses. And I mean, they have done so well for us because it's like we've brought ourselves to a point where we can't really have too much, to lose, until we actually find that true peace amongst human society. And I think, like, to my degree of what I learned at, like, things like Mildred, Elley, learning Blender, learning Unity, learning all these software languages and knowing what to put together, and then again I learned about other things in the computer engineering. It just, opens up my mind. It feels like that I created a cheat code, and that cheat code got smarter. I, unleash a tactical cohesiveness to know what is right and wrong in the society, to make myself a more bigger, figure one day. And I really want to put myself at that level, and I think, like, to a certain degree, gaming has, brought a lot of people's feelings to a all-time low. To be like, hey, we don't need to be angry as much. We don't need to be as tribalistic, which that's a good thing, because video games really calm you down, and it finds your comfort of what you want to do as a person. And I feel like, the computer alone, they think like you know what I'm saying? The computer knows who you are as a human being. They understand what, why they're here, but they understand that they have different roles in which they could take different paths. And I do like the fact, like, in my field for video games, it has such a widespread of ideas mixed with, coalition variables, which there's just so much, to learn, and I'm really happy of the fact that you can have that opportunity of what you can do as a developer, and find your freedom to become the best of the best. But I really do hope one day I can enhance myself to become like Ed Boon, become like, other people in the spectrum for video games. And I do want to have my own talk shows. I do want to be meeting up with other athletes and having fun. I want to have fun before everything's over. And when it's over, I'm not going to think about me being RIP. I'm going to think about all the good things that I've had before I went RIP. But when I go RIP, I'm not going to think about, a certain type of afterlife. And, I mean, shit, if there was one, I'd be happy enough to know that I've actually done well to see myself in my own dimension where I don't hurt nobody. I'm in my own world. I could think about as much video games and much, whatever as I want. But that's like the type of multiverse that I could ever really be dreaming of. But to be honest, I find myself to be in the passionate path to see myself to be positive, more wide open, widespread myself to become the best human being on earth. And I definitely want to keep improving, become, way smarter in Java, put myself in Python, C#, C++, you already know it. So, yeah, guys, I hope you guys enjoy that. I'll be sure to make some gaming talk videos. That hasn't been a thing that I've made in a while. I'm going to start a new series for KR Talk, so, stay tuned for that. I'll see you guys later. Peace.